My name is Linda Carter, and I live, or used to live, in a small town in rural Texas. It was the winter of 1987, and I'd just finished a late shift at the convenience store. I climbed into my beat-up old Ford and started the drive home. The night was frigid, the fog so thick it draped the fields like a shroud. The radio had been busted for months, leaving the hum of the engine and my own breathing as the only sounds in the car. I was used to the solitude. A single mom with 2 kids doesn't have time for fear. I'd driven that road 100 times, a narrow stretch of asphalt flanked by endless cornfields and the occasional skeletal tree. No streetlights, just my headlights carving a thin path through the dark. That night, about halfway home, something felt off. The air grew heavier, and a faint noise drifted in from outside, like wind or maybe a whisper. I rolled down the window to listen, but all I caught was a distant dog barking through the mist. I laughed it off, chalking it up to nerves. Then I saw it, or thought I did, a flicker in the rearview mirror. I glanced up, and my heart stopped. There was a figure in the back seat, head bowed, motionless. I slammed on the brakes, the car skidding on the muddy road before lurching to a halt. I whipped around, staring at the seat. Nothing. Empty. I rubbed my eyes, muttering to myself that it was just exhaustion. 3 straight night shifts will mess with anyone's head. I restarted the engine, hands trembling. As the wheels rolled forward, I couldn't resist another peek in the mirror. This time, I saw it clearly. A blurry shape, slumped in the right rear seat, wearing a tattered coat, head still down. My breath hitched, cold sweat beading on my forehead. I didn't dare turn around again, couldn't bear the thought of facing whatever it was. I floored the gas, the car jolting forward as my mind screamed to get home. 10 miles to go. I kept telling myself it was a trick of the light, a shadow from the trees outside. But it didn't leave. In the mirror, that figure stayed put, a silent passenger riding along. My voice shook as I croaked. "Who's there?" No answer. Just the wind howling louder, like it was laughing at me. My thoughts spiraled. The doors were locked. I'd checked the car before getting in. How could anyone, be there? Or maybe it didn't get in at all. I'd heard the old town stories about this road. A hitchhiker killed years ago, hit by a truck and left to rot in a ditch for days. Some said his ghost lingered, slipping into cars at night. I'd always dismissed it as nonsense, something to scare kids. Now, I wasn't so sure. At a sharp bend, I risked another glance. The figure moved. Slowly, so slowly it lifted its head. In the mirror, I saw a face, or what should have been a face. Gray-white skin, like a corpse pulled from water. Eyes nothing but black pits. Mouth gaping in a twisted grin. Or maybe a grimace of pain. I screamed, the wheels slipping in my hands. The car veered, scraping into a ditch, and the engine died. Gasping. I turned fully this time. The back seat was empty again. My hands shook too hard to fit the key back in the ignition. My mind, a jumbled mess. When I finally got the car running, the air inside turned ice cold, like I'd plunged into a freezer. Something brushed the back of my neck, light as a whisper. I floored it, tires spinning in the mud, the car lurching back onto the road. The rest of the drive was a nightmare. I stopped looking in the mirror, but I felt it, whatever it was, still there. No sound, no movement, just a weight pressing down on me. At last, my house came into view, the porch light a faint beacon. I parked in the garage, stumbled out, and practically crawled inside, locking the door behind me. Collapsing against the wall, tears mixed with sweat as I sobbed. I glanced back at the car through the window. Nothing. But I knew that night wasn't just in my head. The next day, I told my neighbor, old Jack, what happened. His face darkened as he listened. He said there'd been a man, a drifter, killed on that road over a decade ago. Drunk, wandering in the dark, he'd been smashed by a truck. The driver fled, and the body lay there, rotting for days before anyone found it. Jack said folks had seen things since then. A passenger in their back seat at night, always quiet, always gone when they looked too close. He lowered his voice. Linda, you're lucky he didn't speak to you. I thought that was the end of it, but the weeks that followed proved me wrong. My car started acting up, engine roaring to life in the middle of the night, bangs echoing from the garage like someone pounding on the door. One time, I checked and found a faint dent in the backseat cushion, like someone had sat there. I sold the Ford to an out-of-town dealer, got a new car. A week later, a smudged handprint appeared on the rearview mirror. I wiped it off, but it came back the next day. Sleep stopped coming easy. I feel eyes on me in the dark. The kids started hearing things, footsteps in the garage, whispers outside their window. They asked why a man stood outside at night. I yanked the curtain shut, too scared to look. The worst came on a stormy night. Alone, with thunder rattling the house, I heard the garage door thud, followed by a low, guttural laugh from inside the car. I grabbed the phone to call the cops, but the line was dead. I huddled in the living room, clutching my knees until dawn. The laughter stopped, but the garage light stayed on all night. I didn't dare turn it off. I moved after that, took the kids, and left that town behind. The new place was miles from that cursed road, and I swore off driving at night. Even so, I dream of that face, gray skin, hollow eyes, that sick grin. I'd wake up checking the mirror, even though I didn't own a car anymore. It's 2025 now. I thought time would bury it. Yesterday, though, a letter came. No sender, just a photo inside. It showed my old Ford parked on that rural road, and in the back seat, a blurry figure, head down, waiting. I burned it, but tonight, I heard that laugh again, outside my window, closer than ever.